A very good question has come from the audience. The archetypes and their relationship to meaning and feeling. Archetypes sets the context of the highest meanings and the highest thinking. It sets the context. And there is the catch. It is consciousness that sets the context. So consciousness has to be expanded before we become even interested in the archetypes. And the challenge is a constricted consciousness is constricted, and they really cannot experience these archetypes. They really cannot experience intuition. They really are stuck in their base feelings and base meanings that are already available for them to process by the history of the previous humans that have lived. That defines our knowledge system. That can be learned in our schools, that can be learned from other human beings who have already gone through the culture and built the culture. But if that is limited, if that facility is limited by how expanded a consciousness is, then how do we ever get into exploring the archetypes? So in the segment, I did mention all the 4 different ways that the Upanishad talks about this. Actually, that statement does not come from the Upanishad. It comes from Bhagavad Gita. I went a little ahead of myself. And the Bhagavad Gita recognizes that we can come to it from suffering. That's the most common way that people get into the archetypes. They become desperate. Suffering is so distressing that one becomes desperate. I will do anything. And that intention of healing oneself from suffering creates an expansion of consciousness. Paradoxical. Because they will then engage into things that will expand the consciousness. The desire for expanding arises from that I cannot deal with this kind of suffering anymore. I'll do anything. And then you go to a teacher says, meditate. And this process of meditation is very interesting. We'll get into it later, but right now, sufficient to say that the process is an enabler. It enables you. It enables you to expand consciousness. And that is its role. Its role is to expand consciousness. So meditation makes the whole thing a very wonderful creative process. Meditation is the start of it, of course not the end of it. The end of it is realizing an archetype, embodying an archetype. That's when we become transformed. That's the goal of it.